Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. And it seems that there is going to be a civil war between the two most powerful women in the Labour Party. Angela Rayner and Rachel Reeves are going to go head to head. They don't like each other. Uh, Reeves is very much a Starmerite. Angela Rayner is a Corbynite who absolutely loathes Starmer. But of course, Angela has been tasked with we frankly know, impossible task of building 1.5 million houses in 5 years. Ain't going to happen. We all know it's not going to happen. That's not the issue here. The issue is, to do this, she needs lots and lots of lovely money. Unfortunately, Rachel Reeves, in her infinite wisdom, has decided to cut Angela's funding. Not just not increase it to do the houses, but to actually cut what she's already going. And Angela Rayner is spitting feathers and apparently is very, very angry. The rumours are that she is absolutely seething at the moment, and it is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back when it turns out, that they're going to try and get rid of Starmer. Because make no bones about it, if Starmer goes, Reeves is out. She is not going to have anything. She'll be offered something agriculture, perhaps, Northern Ireland, where they stick them when they don't want them. So this is going in. Now, not a single shovel has been picked up in terms of building 1.5 million houses. It's never going to happen. They don't have the supply line. They don't have the land. They don't have the planning. They don't have the materials. They don't have the manpower. Nothing. So it's never going to happen. But the one thing they do need is the funding to get anything built. Now, Reeves is understood, apparently, from the sources in Westminster, to definitely be pulling the purse strings tight. She doesn't want Rayner to have the money. And there will not be what's absolutely needed, which was a massive cash injection. Billions. And it has to be billions of pounds in order to kickstart this huge social house building scheme. And it ain't going to happen. Now, Rayner, who said that house building is, in her words, a moral mission. And as someone, and for those, many of you do know, but for anyone who's come lately, 35 years in the building trade myself. Building finance. I was an accountant for a building company, operations manager. I dealt with planning. I dealt with budgeting. We would do all sorts, every part of every aspect of house building. And so I know whereof I speak. I speak with expert knowledge of 35 years gained in the field. And of course, these things do cost, and there is a lot of upfront costs. Everything is top loaded, but you've got to make your money back. Not that Labour do, because it's all tax money. But, in the real world, you'd have to make your money. But it's still having to put the investment in. If you don't put the investment in, it ain't going to happen. And if Reeves is going to pull those purse strings tight, it's impossible. And it's undermining Angela Rayner. She was given basically, this was her big job. The housing thing was the big job for Rayner. And it's being undermined by Rachel Reeves, a woman who Rayner absolutely loathes. Now, Rayner asked apparently for 11.5 billion up front to kick this in, which is, for what she's wanting, nowhere near enough for the 1.5 million. So for 1.5 million houses, but in terms of kickstarting it and getting, say, 500,000 houses built over the course of 5 years, which is much more achievable, then 11.5 billion is probably getting on to be about the right amount of money. But it ain't come forward. She's not getting it. Now, Downing Street are saying that every department has to take a major cut. They have to accept it. Now, apparently the deadline was yesterday. Every department had to sign off on agreeing to various cuts and saying where it could go, what it could need. If there was any exceptions, they could put them in. But that all had to be in and done by yesterday. And apparently very few people have actually done it. Rayner, no, she's refusing to do it because she says, no, her department is special, it's different. And it's the department, she's the Deputy Prime Minister. She seems to think that being Deputy Prime Minister is important in some way. It's not. You have no real power. It's just a meaningless title for a fairly meaningless woman, to be fair. And Reeves is covering all this. She's using that platitude of, "Oh, I've got to make tough decisions." No, the only decisions you've got to make is whether I'm going to screw the elderly this way or screw the elderly that way. Oh, and poor people. We don't like poor people. Let's screw them as well. Now, without the funding in place, there's no way you're going to get. Well, there's no way you're going to get the 1.5 million anyway. But without this funding in place, you're not going to get the 500,000. Never mind the 1.5 million. And Rayner knows it, and she is apparently taking this as a personal shafting by Rachel Reeves. She's thinking Rachel Reeves is doing this on purpose because Rachel Reeves wants me to quit. Now, possibly, but this spending review is not going the way that people thought. And for Rayner, she's already upset with a lot of things. She's basically had all her powers stripped. She didn't get the house that she should have had, and that went to Rachel Reeves as well. She's had authority cut. She's only been given really 2 jobs, housing being the big one, and then the employment law, employers' rights law going through is the other one. Both of these are controversial. Both of these are probably job damaging. Neither of them, I think, are going to be easily achievable. And I think it's all done because Starmer has no way of firing Angela Rayner, because Angela Rayner's position is appointed by the Politburo, as it were, and it's not an appointment that Starmer has control over. And he hates that because he hates her, because she's common and a bit oiky and well below his social standing, of course, because he's special in his mind. Why? The woman doesn't even have her own tax law. And so I think he's trying to undermine her at every opportunity in the hope that she will quit. And I think that this decision from Rachel Reeves has probably come with Starmer's full agreement. Undermine Angela Rayner, make her angry, make her do and say things that we can use against her so that he can get her out and perhaps focus somewhat on someone more acceptable to him as Deputy Prime Minister. I don't think anyone wants the job now, though. They've seen what a complete and utter tit he is. And the whole party is imploding. And, of course, it's already factionalised on 2 sides. But this will just strengthen the opinion. And I think the Corbynites will certainly start making trouble for Starmer. And Starmer will back down and bend the knee because he's a very weak man. So keep fighting, Angela. I can't believe I'm actually on the side of Angela Rayner, who I personally loathe. But I loathe her slightly less than I loathe him. So come on, Angela. As many have. Thanks a lot. Bye.